it is really hard to follow the young, amazing young people, but Taylor told me on Friday that my speech is dope, so I'm hoping that's a good sign. In January of 2013, I ran the first South to North exchange in La Miranda. We had 6 students, 3 from Ecuador and 3 from Nicaragua. And for a whole week I played soccer mom, driving around our visiting students from school to school. We started the Campo Lindo garden together and had a potluck feast in my parents' kitchen with more than 20 students from Campo, Acalanes, and Miramani. Over the course of that week, we became a little family, bouncing around in my mom's SUV. I remember saying goodbye at the airport, watching Carla from Bahia and Hixa from Chacra Seca cry in each other's arms. Saying goodbye was so final, so permanent. They knew they would never see each other again. They promised they would keep in touch. Hixa and Raquel from Chacra Seca saying they would take a bus for 30 minutes to get internet access so that they could chat on Facebook once in a while. I think I thought at the time that those promises were the ones like I made at the end of summer camp, probably unlikely to happen. But for the next few years, every time I would visit Nicaragua or Ecuador, I would visit the homes of those students. They would always ask about each other and about their host families here in California. One year they learned I was leading staff training in both countries and had me carry cards and gifts back and forth between them. This is the strength of the GSE community, a lifelong bond between young people from around the world. On April 16th, when the 7.8 earthquake hit 90 miles north of our community in Ecuador, Bahia de Caracas, I was reminded of the power of community once again. My heartbreak over hearing that 90% of the buildings in Bahia were tagged for demolition was matched with an equal level of inspiration as I watched GSE high school students around the Bay Area mobilize, immediately reaching out to ask what they could do to support their friends in Ecuador. Days after the earthquake, 30 students from every school in La Miranda showed up at the Earth Day Festival in Lafayette to fundraise. I walked into our office the next day to find a jar of $700. And they didn't stop there. Each school has since started their own fundraising campaign for relief work in Ecuador. For most of the US, the earthquake was a fleeting newsfeed headline, one that disappeared altogether after Prince passed away. But just another sad story of a people and a place so very far away. But for GSE students here, the earthquake rocked them too, because they are truly global citizens, connected to international peers by a unique bond and community. I don't believe it's hard to be a global citizen, but it is hard to become one. It is hard to get people in this day and age, especially young people, to care and connect in deep and lasting ways. At GSE, we have figured out how to engage students in a program that opens their eyes and raises their consciousness by creating opportunities to work together on environmental projects, both locally and internationally, and as you heard, by taking their cell phones away. We allow people to just be people, to realize they are more alike than different. Language and cultural differences can help break down barriers where, at the end of the day, all that truly matters is if you're nice, kind, or helpful. What happens when these young people are together is magic and natural at the same time. They bond. They become a community. And a community takes care of its own. Whether they are next door or across the world, the bond remains. We have been asked if we are going to stay working in Ecuador after the earthquake, because the infrastructure has been so destroyed it might not be as easy to host exchanges there anymore. Maybe that's a legitimate question for another organization, one that comes and goes from place to place. But that isn't what GSC is all about. Bahia de Caracas isn't some dot on an organizational map of where we work, and neither is La Miranda. Bahia and La Miranda are our home. our community, and they are each more powerful and sustainable because of their tie and connection to one another. Our commitment to supporting sustainable rebuilding efforts in Bahia doesn't mean we've become a relief organization. It means that when we say we're developing community leaders, we are. And we support those young people, those community leaders, through whatever challenges they and their community face. GSE is a space, a platform, a catalyst, a community for young people to grow, create, and lead. In La Miranda, we're in every high school in the district at least one day a week, supporting students to address their environmental challenges. A community takes care of its own. It's been incredible to watch the way GSE has grown and developed in my hometown, thanks to so many passionate change makers. Nothing has made me feel more lucky or proud to be from here than the experience of returning and developing GSE alongside so many of you. And now I stand before you to ask for your support and partnership. In a few moments, we'll start our Fund a Need program. Your contributions here tonight will allow us to deepen our impact at your local school and provide support for our students here and abroad. Young leaders like Luis, a student in Bahia who recently lost his entire home, who's now taking GSE's bamboo building workshops in order to help his family sustainably rebuild. Natural disasters are a sure thing in this world. What isn't a sure thing, but needs to be, is a global community committed to supporting one another. A global community committed to the sustainability of our planet. With your support, we can provide students with a life-changing experience, and they will build that community as a result. Thank you.